The mysterious history of Antarctica. For a long time, Antarctica has piqued our interest. From the brave early explorers of the 1800s to the equally courageous present scientists, the unknowns beneath Antarctica's ice continue to captivate us. But do you know what these as-yet mysteries are? Hey, this is Country Facts, and we're back to answer all your questions. Now, what are we waiting for? Let's begin. As we know, Antarctica is an unfriendly place due to its extreme weather, low temperatures, and barren scenery. The frozen continent, which is roughly 1.5 times the size of the United States, is covered in ice to the tune of 99%. Nevertheless, researchers have pressed on, unearthing crimson waterfalls, ancient fossils, strange natural phenomena, and unbelievable creatures. They've even found salty subsurface lakes and a massive mountain range hiding beneath the ice. Let's talk about the mysterious history of Antarctica. Do you know there are many hidden lakes in Antarctica? Underneath Antarctica's thick ice, scientists have uncovered a number of subsurface lakes. Radar surveys began uncovering these lakes in the 1970s, and it is now estimated that there are 400 lakes hidden beneath 3 kilometers of ice in the places that have been studied thus far. After Antarctica split from the ancient supercontinent Gondwanaland, the lakes likely formed according to scientists. The pressure from the ice sheet prevents the lakes from freezing over. It was not until the 1990s that Russian scientists uncovered the continent's largest subglacial lake, Lake Vostok. It's the third largest lake in the world by volume, and it's hidden 3.5 kilometers under the ice. Scientists have bored holes in the ice to retrieve samples of the lake's water, and one sample revealed that the water was around -3 degrees Celsius despite being covered by ice for over 20 million years. In 2014, scientists made a groundbreaking discovery at Lake Whillans when they found a thriving microbial ecosystem beneath the ice nearly a kilometer deep in the lake. Amazingly, these animals may survive and even thrive on a diet of methane and ammonium, despite having no access to oxygen or sunshine for millions of years. Have you ever wondered where exactly Antarctica is located? The Antarctic continent is the farthest south and least populated place on Earth. The South Pole is located in this region, which is almost entirely outside the Antarctic Circle and surrounded by the Southern Ocean. With a total area of 14 billion square kilometers, Antarctica ranks as the 5th largest continent. This makes it around 40% larger than Europe. The Antarctic ice sheet, which covers most of Antarctica, has an average thickness of 1.9 kilometers. Is there a reason planes don't fly over Antarctica? Antarctica, sometimes known as the South Pole, is the geographic South Pole of the Earth, located in the southern hemisphere's Antarctic area. Planes rarely fly over Antarctica, even flying over the North Pole. So, for example, if you wish to travel nonstop from Perth, Australia to Buenos Aires, Argentina, it appears sensible to fly through Antarctica, but this does not occur. Except for a few planes, almost all commercial flights do not go over the South Pole. This, however, does not appear to be the case above the North Pole. Why? There are various reasons for this, though most important of which is that flying across Antarctica is neither pleasurable nor safe. But what makes crossing the South Pole so dangerous? Let's take a closer look at some of the reasons why flying over Antarctica remains tough for pilots. Number 1, climate and weather conditions. In the most obvious sense, Antarctica's climate is unsuitable for human activity. People who wish to work in some of the world's worst climates must go through months of intensive training before they arrive. This area is only for people who are doing or conducting research. Antarctica's human settlements are largely research facilities. Because this isn't a popular tourist site, planes rarely make a nice stop here. Number 2, inadequate visibility. Then there's the fact that Antarctica isn't the best place in the world to see the sky, not to mention the fact that it is constantly affected by snowstorms, which can be highly dangerous even in normal weather circumstances. No infrastructure. Antarctica's infrastructure is notable for its lack of towers, airports, and other structures that aid in takeoff, landing, and navigation. Flying over Antarctica without sufficient infrastructure could be compared to flying over the ocean. Flying over the ocean at the very least improves visibility and prior flight patterns, helping pilots to better comprehend where they're headed. Have you ever heard that ice in Antarctica is melting? And at what rate is it melting? Scientists predict that we are heading towards scenarios similar to those depicted in The Day After Tomorrow, where the melting ice in Antarctica throws off global equilibrium. A new satellite study confirmed that Antarctica's coastline glaciers are losing icebergs at a rate twice as fast as nature can restore the melting ice, thereby doubling the estimated loss of the world's greatest ice sheet during the past quarter century. The most important takeaway from the study was the realization that the amount of ice being lost from Antarctica's ice shelves due to thinning, due to the melting of ice from below by warming seas, is almost as great as the net amount of ice that scientists had previously known was being lost from coastal glacier chunks calving off into the ocean. Since 1997, the combined effects of thinning and calving have reduced the bulk of Antarctica's ice shelves by 12 trillion tons, or double the previous estimate. And when ice shelves melt and shrink, the continent's huge glaciers tend to accelerate and exacerbate the rate of global sea level rise. The repercussions may be very serious. If all the ice in the globe melted, Antarctica would contribute 88% to sea level rise. Does a piece of Antarctica belong to Germany? The Antarctic race was finally put to rest with the signing of the 1959 Antarctic Treaty. It prevented the commercial exploitation of Antarctica's resources and the military use of the continent, and it provided the groundwork for scientific cooperation to continue investigating the continent and its function in the Earth system. German research sites like Neumayer 3 on the Ekstrom ice shelf in Atka Bay or Konen in the Antarctic interior, as well as the participation of German polar researchers in international organizations, play a significant role in implementing the principles and goals of the Antarctic Treaty. And under the Protocol on Environmental Protection, Germany often takes foresightful efforts, such as establishing universal guidelines for Antarctic tourists or bolstering protection for the well-known but critically endangered emperor penguins. Germany submitted a proposal to the European Union in 2016 under the auspices of the CCA-MLR to create a large marine protected area in the Weddell Sea. Germany has no territorial ambitions in Antarctica. The special regime of peaceful cooperation established by the Antarctic Treaty is maintained and strengthened for future generations. And the next thing we're going to tell you will absolutely blow your mind. Hitler had big intentions for Antarctica. In the 1930s, the Nazi regime desperately needed margarine for cooking and baking, so they mounted an enormous mission to Antarctica. Hitler finished the Nazi plans for getting Germany ready for war by 1940 and 1936. Hitler's German Fat Plan, which aimed to stockpile massive quantities of goods including butter, milk, cheese, cream, margarine, paints, detergents, etc., was in accordance with these goals to ensure that German forces were battle ready. Can we say it was a smart move? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The German people's spirits and stomachs both needed to be full for the war effort to succeed. As a result, for whatever reason, being ready for war became dependent on securing whale oil to make margarine. The German government realized it required a methodical approach to acquiring whale oil, and its officials settled on establishing a commercial whaling base in the Antarctic as a workable solution. But things quickly went south for the Nazi regime. During one airborne surveillance flight, the aircraft ran out of fuel, and crew members were forced to dispose of canisters of miniature metal swastikas that were to be dispersed around the Antarctic region to claim the region as Nazi territory. The small metal swastikas were never recovered again after they were discarded. The trip was nonetheless valuable in terms of the scientific understanding of Antarctica that the Nazis were able to achieve. So that's a wrap for today, folks. We hope you liked our video. Please let us know in the comments what we should do to save our environment, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos like this one. And thanks for watching.